Okay, welcome everyone. This is Vince Lonnie, Director of Medicare over at URL. Thank you for taking some time out of your afternoon to join us for our first product webinar of the season. On the phone today, we're going to have Tim Klaus, our key accounts rep from Geisinger Health Plans. I'm going to turn it over to Tim in a second. There will be a short Q&A at the end of the presentation. Tim's going to be basically starting and going over the 2014 product outlook, specifying on the MSA plans as well as the special needs plans. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Tim Klaus from Geisinger Health Plans. Tim, it's all yours.
All right, thanks, Vince. Well, welcome everybody. I appreciate the opportunity that URL has provided for us to talk about our 14 products. We are certainly excited. And first, I just want to make sure that everybody is seeing the screen there. Are we okay with that?
Looks good to me.
Okay, good deal. I just want to make sure. All right, so let's dive right in here. We got a good bit to cover today. Here at Geisinger, we're certainly excited about 2014. But first, I want to take a minute and just talk about, our 2013 that we're having currently. We definitely appreciate the enrollment that we've received from all of our contracted agents. We've actually doubled our enrollment from last year, so that's pretty outstanding. And we continue to hold the #1 rating in Pennsylvania out of all the Medicare Advantage plans, and also #6 in the nation. So we're very proud of those accomplishments, and we continue to strive for that. Most importantly, we're a 4.5-star rating per CMS for our HMO and PPO products, and that's significant as we move forward into 2015, when health plans begin receiving bonus reimbursements, which has an impact on the strength of product and those sort of things. So we're constantly striving to try and get to that 5-star, and hopefully we'll be able to obtain that in the next year to 2 years. But as of now, we're 4.5 out of 5 stars, and then our MSA plan is a 4 out of 5 stars. That has some more difficult rating measures compared to our HMO and PPO plan, simply because it is the only MSA plan in Pennsylvania. So as we get some history to the MSA plan and some length, we'll be able to hopefully get that 4 up to a 4.5 or a 5-star rating as well. So what's some of the new things we have on board for 2014? We're implementing a process to receive enrollment verification emails. So whenever an agent submits an application, you will receive an email of the status of that application, whether it is approved, denied, or pending. So you'll be able to track each app that you submit. We have a new sales collateral ordering system, so to order all of your sales kits and applications. We've actually just launched that the past week, and it is available on the broker portal. If you go to thehealthplan.com and log in, you can simply go in and click on sales and marketing materials, and it'll take you to our portal where you can order those. As we get closer to the AEP, there will be some supplies available that you can order as far as marketing materials. We'll have some customizable ads, postcards, those sort of things that you can go in and customize and have delivered. It's a pretty nice tool. I recommend that everybody take a look and take advantage of those. And for the MSA, we have some improved sales tools that will help you sell the product. So we'll talk about those a little more in length as we go through the presentation here. And then our new training system, I just want to talk about that briefly. I know most folks have wrapped up their training for 2014, and we implemented a new system this year. Our old system was a little challenging and was not very compatible with most systems, so we rolled out a new system, and you should have received an email with a link to log in with a username, and once you log in, you can begin taking the test. It's a really user-friendly system. So if you have not received that email, please contact our broker service team or the folks at URL, and they can certainly let us know, or we can get you assigned to that test. Or correct the email if we have that one. So, you know, our plan options here at Geisinger, and like Vince had mentioned earlier, I'm really going to cruise through some of the products here. I really want to spend some time on actually 3 of our plans, but we do have a full portfolio of products. We have HMO POS plans, which basically are, it's a form, it really acts like a PPO. There's an out-of-network set of benefits. There's no referrals. Very much like a PPO, but it from a reporting measure on our end, it acts like an HMO plan. The MSA continues to build strength. It actually led our overall enrollment in 2013 this year, so we're expecting that to carry through into 14 and have even stronger year. And then we have our HMO plans, our classic plans. They are, you know, are kind of our staple plans. We've had them for quite some time. The Classic 3 is really a competitive plan, so I wanted to spend a little time on that today. And then we have our PPO plans and our SNP plan, our Secure 1 plan. So as we move through our Classic 1, I'm going to move through this one pretty quickly, but you can see the Classic 1, this was our original plan when we first started with Medicare Advantage. It still offers a low out-of-pocket max. It's a $2,800 out-of-pocket max with your $10 and $20 PCP and specialist copays. But the premiums are a little bit higher on this plan. You can see they range anywhere from $127 here in the yellow counties, and over here in these 3 counties, if we have folks that sell in Lehigh, Northampton, and Carbon, it's actually a pretty attractive plan at $88, and that includes prescription drug coverage. So we have a very strong network. We have all of the hospital systems, the health systems in this area, including the Lehigh Valley, St. Luke's, Winfield. We have all of those facilities there. The Classic 3, this plan actually has picked up a lot of steam as well for us. You can see the out-of-pocket maximum on this is $2,250 for this year. That is really the only increase that we had from last year with this product. This went up $200, and the deductible is $1,300. So one of the nice benefits that we have here is this inpatient hospitalization. We actually put a maximum out-of-pocket on the inpatient deductible. So an example would be if you are admitted into the hospital, you're in the hospital for 10 days, you would pay $790, and if you had no other services and you had to go back into the hospital 2 weeks later, you've already met your $790, so you would not have to pay anything after that point. If you were to go have a outpatient surgery after you've been in the hospital, you'd have to pay the difference between the $790 and the $1,300 then. So once you've met the $1,300, the only thing that you'd have to pay at that point is your copays, so the $10 and $25, or any of the emergency room fees here would apply after you've met your deductible. So this is really an attractive plan because it comes in at $41 with drug, and you know we have a very strong network in all of the counties here. So, an HMO plan has emergency coverage worldwide. So if you have folks that may be concerned if they're going to be vacationing, they'll have that coverage. And the referrals are actually not overly difficult. They're good for 18 months. So if you have someone who may see a cardiologist, for instance, on a quarterly basis, they would have to get that referral one time for the year, and they would be good. So certainly a product to consider. It's holding stable. We did not have a lot of increases this year in this product, so definitely something to consider. The Classic 4 is basically the same thing as the Classic 3, but it's offered in these 3 counties here, okay? So the Classic 3 is not offered in Carbon, Lehigh, or Northampton, but the Classic 4 is. So certainly when you're in the field, make sure you get one of our quick reference guides that we publish each year, and make sure you're taking a look at the map. It'll help you, be able to quote premiums based on the counties that you're in. This is the POS plan that we talked about. Basically, it works like a PPO plan. It has a $4,300 out-of-pocket max, $10, $25 PCPs. Your inpatient is $125 per day, days 1 through 5. And the premiums, you can see they vary per county. So as I mentioned, make sure you're referencing your map and your quick reference guide. But you can see they range anywhere from 100 to 110 in these counties. So that's our HMO POS plan. And our SNP plan, we feel that we actually increased the benefits on the SNP plan this year. We no longer have the $1.60 premium. So we, fortunately we're able to eliminate that. It is a zero premium. We've actually added a $400 denture allowance, and that would be included in the $2,000 per year dental services coverage. We raised the eyewear from $200 to $275 per year. The hearing aid benefit, we added $300 onto that, and we added an additional $15 to the OTC benefit. And I believe there's some rumblings that there may be some SNP plans that are leaving the market. So again, this product has we have great networks with this product. We have most of the hospitals in most counties. Certainly make sure you're referencing your network provider directory. But we feel that this is an absolute one of the best dual products in the market right now. And here's all of the counties that the SNP plan is offered. You can see we cover all the way from Somerset, Jefferson, out to the eastern part of Pennsylvania here. Bradford County, Franklin, and Bedford is not offered in those counties. The Secure 3 HMO plan, this was actually a special needs plan for individuals who have diabetes or chronic heart failure. And this product is actually being eliminated for 2014. There was not a tremendous amount of enrollment. If it was 300, I think that would be probably the extent of the enrollment that we had in this plan. And we're actually going to be mapping most of those folks into one of our classic HMO plans. So this plan is no longer going to be offered for 2014. Our PPO1 plan, this is our a little bit higher premium PPO plan. It has a $3,400 in-network out-of-pocket max. There's a $195 deductible, and the inpatient this year is at $440 per stay. The PCP is 7, and the specialist is 25 on this. So still, yes? I'm sorry. So still some value in this. Here's the premium map. You have in your lower southern counties here, it's $81, and in all the green shaded counties, it's $157. Our PPO2 plan, a little bit lower premium. There's a $3,900 out-of-pocket max, $100 deductible, and the inpatient is at $225 per stay, days 1 through 5. You can see there's quite a few different counties here. You can see this is the $65 counties are in yellow, 66 for the red counties, and green counties are 60 there. So still premium-wise, still competitive. And we have a preferred 3 product, which is available in these 3 counties here. So make sure you're referencing your quick reference guide. We had some very slight changes to our prescription drug coverage for this year. If it's a Classic 1 plan or the Classic Plus plan, the drug copays are $3, $7, $39, and $69. If it's any of the other products, it would be $10 and $80 for the Tier 2 and Tier 4 drugs. So for any of the PPO plans, the Tier 2 is $10, Tier 4 is $80. Okay, so make sure you're taking a look at the quick reference guides.
Hey, Tim.
Yeah. Yes.
Your screen is not populating as quickly as you're talking.
Oh, okay.
So when you talk about a product, the map is like not loading right away.
Okay. So can you see the preferred 3 map?
No, what I see right now is the preferred 3 PPO grid.
Really? Wow. I wonder. You know what? I don't know. What are you seeing right now?
And now I see the Part D prescription drug coverage.
Okay.
I see the Part D prescription drug coverage.
Okay.
Can you maybe pull your presentation, not make it full screen for a second? Hit escape and kind of jump out of that?
Yep, just did that.
It's really delayed.
Huh. Well, let me see if I can get to, we were basically close to the end here. Can you see the reserve MSA slide?
Well, I just got a message from one of the attendees, and she said it may depend on the computer because you're right on with her computer.
So it,
It might be us. So keep going.
Okay. All right. Well, so we're on to the MSA plan. You know, we're actually very excited about the future of this plan. This year we have no changes to this product at all. That's 7 years running that we've had no changes to the MSA. It's pretty tough to find an MA plan without any changes for 7 years. So it's definitely becoming a more and more popular plan, and you can really see why, because it's available statewide. There's no network as long as the providers accept Medicare and they are willing to build a health plan. They can see those providers. It offers a 0 monthly premium, and there's a $3,000 annual deductible with this plan. However, we put $1,500 into a checking account that's opened through Mellon Bank, and the $1,500 is in that account to offset the $3,000 deductible. So if they have any Medicare covered expenses and they spend the $1,500, toward those Medicare covered expenses, it will count toward the deductible. So really, if you use the $1,500 that's deposited toward Medicare covered expenses, your out-of-pocket max is $1,500. So it's pretty tough to find a plan, even a med sup plan. If you break that $1,500 down over 12 months, you're looking at $125 per month. So that's a pretty competitive plan. And the best part is, if you don't use the $1,500, so if you have someone who's relatively healthy and they only, say, use $500 throughout the course of the year, that $1,000 that's left in that account will roll over to the next year, and we will add another deposit in January. So a lot of benefits to it. We have members in the MSA plan currently who have upwards of over $5,000 in their account because they've been members for some time and they've been lucky with good health. So, you know, in those cases, those folks will take that deposit money and spend that on prescription drug copays or eyeglasses, things that are not Medicare covered expenses, but they are qualified medical expenses. So you can use the $1,500 on any qualified medical expense, but if it's not covered by Medicare, it will not count toward the deductible. So an example would be if someone bought a $500 pair of eyeglasses, that would leave them $1,000 in their checking account, and the $500 would not count toward the $3,000. So if they had an inpatient stay, they could potentially have to pay the $2,000, the difference between the $500 there. So this product is certainly catching a lot of steam. Somebody could go out and purchase a TV with the money, but they would be taxed and penalized. And the penalties are pretty stiff. It's upwards of 50%. So I wouldn't recommend that at all. But it is a nice feature if you have the funds in there that you can spend that on your prescription drug copays and your ancillary benefits. So the plan, the MSA plan, does not come with.
Welcome to GoToWebinar, Webinars Made Easy.
In this plan are the folks that have been on a Medicare supplement, and it's an age-based policy, and their premium is up around $300. They love their prescription drug plan, but they're able to pair this MSA plan with their existing prescription drug plan. So it's a nice fit for those individuals. There is some enrollment limitations with this plan. You can only enroll someone during their So this is just something that we felt would help beneficiaries understand the product a little bit better. We have I know this is a little difficult to see, but we will have this available, and it will go out to all new MSA members. And this is intended for the members to take to a provider who, for instance, if a member walks in and the provider says, "Oh, Geisinger, we don't have a contract with them." Well, that may be true, but that doesn't mean that they cannot see that member. So what this form does is it basically outlines that there's no contract or network participation requirements. It outlines how they bill the health plan, so it makes it very simple for that billing manager or the office manager to understand how that process works. And it basically outlines that we will reimburse at the Medicare approved fee schedule. So they're not out any money, which is important. So we do reimburse at 100%. So, we've had facilities in all kinds of states bill us. We've had them in Ohio, California, Arizona, Florida. We've even had, some from Maryland. So we've had quite a few facilities bill us who are not familiar with Geisinger. We've even received a couple from Hershey, believe it or not. So this is what this form is for, is to really help educate providers. And the last thing I really want to cover here before we do some take some questions, just some compliance tips and reminders as we move into 14. This is some stuff that we had either received CMS reports or whatever the case may be. This is a collection of some of the compliance deficiencies that we've had. And I don't, necessarily say this to, frighten agents or anything, but it is, it is certainly the day and age of compliance and making sure you kind of toe the line. And we're here to help you do that. So if you ever have any questions on what you can and can't do, don't hesitate to pick up the phone and give us a call, because we want to help you be able to sell and sell compliantly. The first one, the big one, always have a scope of appointment signed. We got to have that. That's that should be with every application where you're doing an in-person meeting. No high pressure tactics. That's that's pretty self-explanatory. Don't pressure people into selling. No cross-selling. So if you're interested in selling like a life insurance policy, let's just get another scope signed and schedule an appointment 48 hours after the Medicare Advantage one. Make sure you're explaining original Medicare. That's one that CMS has kind of pointed out recently, that they want their agents to start explaining, if you're enrolling in a Medicare Advantage plan, what happens to that original Medicare. So just explain that the beneficiary would only have to use their Medicare Advantage card when they go to the provider, and that the health plans would be paying all the claims. Okay. Explain the enrollment and disenrollment opportunities. Be sure to if you're making an absolute statement, like for instance our #1 Medicare Advantage ranking in Pennsylvania, that is actually a NCQA rating. So they ask that if you're saying they're the best plan in Pennsylvania, you have some sources to back that up. Make sure we're explaining premium, co-pays, and co-insurance. Show the beneficiaries how to find a network provider if you're enrolling in an HMO or PPO plan. Make sure we're explaining the coverage gap and the prescription drug prices. This is a big one that CMS looks for in any sort of audits, because there's a lot of costs associated with that. So make sure we're covering the coverage gap and any of the co-pays that are associated with the Part D plans. And make sure we're always using CMS-approved marketing materials. If anything that you're showing a beneficiary should have a code on the document somewhere that has a CMS approval code. So make sure we're using those. These simple things here will really go a long way in the case of an audit. So, and again, I encourage, if you have questions, if you feel there's a gray area and you're not sure, give us a call, and we'll do our best to get your questions answered as far as compliance is concerned. So the phone number listed here is actually to our broker service team, and they're available 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and you'll be able to they'll be able to assist you with any sort of questions or concerns that you may have. Enrollment verifications, commission issues, anything like that, they're here to help. So please utilize that team. So that's really all I have. I guess, Karen, do we want to open it up to questions?
Yeah, Tim, we actually have two questions. First question is from Sandra. If a member has accrued more than $3,000 in their MSA account, can all of that income be used to meet the annual $3,000 out of pocket in any given year?
Yes, that's a good question. Yes, if you have accrued more than $3,000 or up to $3,000, those funds are there to use toward the deductible. So, if you have someone who goes 2 years and they have not spent the $1,500, and then all of a sudden they're admitted into the hospital, they still would not owe anything because they're going to have $3,000 in their account saved up. So yes, they can use that.
Okay, and the second question again is from Sandra, and she wants to know if there are any plans of expansion out into Western PA for the HMO, PPO, HMO, POS, and the SNP plans. For 14, there is not. We will have to see for the future. We do have expansion, aggressive expansion plans for the health plans. So I would say for the short term, no. The long term, I'd say that we're evaluating that. So possibly. Okay. If anybody else has any other questions, please send them over to us. If not, we're going to wrap it up, and we thank you, Tim, for your time and all the great information, and we thank all of you for joining us for our first webinar.
Great. Yes, thank you very much, everyone, and best of luck this AEP. And if Geisinger can be of assistance, we're here to help.
Okay. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you.